Hi, welcome back to my channel. I guess I haven't really posted anything like this, but we're just gonna try it and see how it goes. I just want to talk about Harley and I's story, like our whole journey with everything, I guess, his lameness and where we are now, and then just kind of go over his surgery and what we're kind of doing with that. So I guess let's get into it. Okay, so I got Harley 3 years ago now, in 2015. Oh my god, it's almost 4 years, wow. So he was just a little 3-year-old. I'm not really little, he's a big guy. And everything was great. Like, he's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I would buy him 100 times over again, even with everything that we've gone through. But so everything was good, and then he kind of started showing lame steps here and there. He was stiff and not moving right, but I was just told that it was fine and behavioral. I was just told to push him through it, and even though like I knew kind of that like it wasn't the best thing for him, I didn't really know at the moment. He was my first horse, is my first horse, and I didn't know any better yet. So I went on for a little bit and it got worse, and then he had punctured his knee at one point and it healed up, but he was always swollen in that knee. It was his left front knee, and then so he was fine, but he was always lame, and I didn't know why, but I was just told that he was fine and to ride him through it. In June of 2017, he got punctured in the knee on the outside of his left front knee, and he ended up needing the emergency vet out to give him stitches because it was really deep and wouldn't stop bleeding. So we did that, and we left the barn that we were at 2 days later. And then we got to our current barn, which we love so much. I have learned a lot there, but everyone was kind of like, you know, he's lame, he's stiff, he's moving like an old man, and for being only 5, it was not right for him to move like that. So we had the chiropractor out, and he had a chiropractic done for like 4 times in a month because he was messed up. We had the animal communicator out with the chiropractor. She feels what the horses do, and she had walked in and instantly felt like she was gonna puke. And she thought that Harley had ulcers. But after the chiropractor had worked on him a little bit, she figured out that it indeed was not ulcers. He was just in so much pain that it was making him sick to his stomach. And that's what the feeling of her puking was. So after that, he felt better, and he needed like a month off from work, which was fine. I was okay with that. I just wanted him to be better. But we kept having the chiropractor back out to readjust him. He had tons of ribs out. He had a terrible headache and needed cranial stuff done. But then that all helped. It just never made him 100%. He was still very stiff and guarded in his front legs and his shoulders. So after that, we didn't really know what else to do. We had the vet out to do some x-rays of his front feet. And we just started with farrier views to see what there was. And he had been barefoot for the whole time that I've owned him up to this point. And the vet said, you know, he's got flat feet, he has thin soles, maybe just put some shoes on him. So we did, and they helped, but still not 100%. So the shoes helped a lot, and then one of my friends at the barn had a horse who had navicular disease. And at this point, we'd never heard of what it was, we never knew anything, it had never been brought up. But when I heard about it, we started hearing more and more about it and found out it's very common in thoroughbreds and in a lot of horses to have navicular disease. It's just a degenerative condition of their navicular bone in their hoof, and so there's nothing you can do to stop it. It's just kind of there. You just gotta maintain it and keep it as best as you can. So with corrective shoeing, it can be helped. Well, we had the vet back out to do navicular x-rays, but we got those, and he had small navicular cysts in his bones, but our vet said, you know, those shouldn't cause him too much pain. He was most likely born with them, you know, just keep an eye on him as long as, but that shouldn't be the source of his lameness. So we kept looking for more. We had on tons of supplements. He was on Equiox for about a year, just, it's kind of like Advil for the horses. So he had that every day for about a year. We also had him on Quinidine, which helped a little bit. He was just on a ton of supplements for pain. We tried to avoid bute because that can be hard on their stomachs, but we worked with what we had, and he was even on isoxaprine for a little bit to take down inflammation if there was any, because we didn't know. But none of that really got him 100%. So we had a different vet out, and this one said that it was just muscular. He was under-muscled and he didn't know how to carry himself properly. So we worked him up hills, got his like hind muscles built up. Still nothing really changed. So we kept seeing what we could do, how to maintain him. All this time he was just doing really light riding. There was nothing, we just couldn't figure it out. And we knew that he just didn't feel well. He kept coming out of his stalls in the morning like an old man. He would shuffle out versus taking normal horse steps. He just was so stiff and guarded in his front shoulders. He would not move out. January of this year, 2019, we had our vet out, and so this was a different vet we hadn't had out yet, because he was coming out for another horse that has also been having some lameness stuff. We had him out, and he watched Harley move, and he looked at his x-rays that we had taken just to see like a second opinion on them, and he looked at his navicular x-rays and he said that they were pretty big changes, like enough to make him lame like this. So we nerve blocked both of his front feet so that he couldn't feel his heels where the navicular bone is and where it would have been causing pain. And the second he had that and we got him moving in the arena, he took off like running, and he was like much more animated in his movement, very much more comfortable. He had no lameness at all except for being stiff because his bones had obviously been, his bones and muscles been so used to moving like that for so long. But he was fine, like he was perfect. So we had finally figured out that it was his navicular disease that was making him so lame all this time. And so we started to figure out our options. With how bad his was, there's not much you can do for it. With navicular, like I said, it's a degenerative condition. It just kind of happens. There's nothing you can do to stop it. So there's corrective shoeing, and then you can do some shockwave therapy, some like pills, injections, stuff like that, and then a surgery. And so we thought about it, and with the surgery, he is not allowed to jump at all anymore. So we just wanted him to be happy, like comfortable, mostly. We just wanted him to be comfortable because he'd been living in pain for so long, and I didn't care if I ever got to ride him again, if he ever got to jump, if we ever show. I didn't really care. So we had decided on doing the neurectomy surgery, which sounds big and scary. So with the neurectomy surgery, they go into the back of their heel and they do 4 cuts. So there's like one here, 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 and here. And they'll go in there and they take out a chunk of his nerve, both front feet, because it was in both of his feet that were really bad. So they take out a chunk of nerve about this long so that he can't feel there where the navicular is. So it's basically a permanent nerve block, like what we did when the vet was out. So with this, he does not feel anything in his heel. So we put egg bar shoes on him to give him more support for his navicular. And I have to be very careful watching his feet and making sure that there are no rocks or anything in there so he doesn't get an abscess. He will not show me if he has an abscess or if it's painful there because he doesn't have nerves there, so he doesn't feel it. He has been fully retired from jumping. He will never do that again. But he has been getting back into some light riding and he's just gonna be a happy pasture pet trail horse, just living his life, being the most comfortable guy he can. Since the surgery, he has been so much more comfortable and happy, and it's just amazing. When I first bought him, I was very uneducated in like the horse business and world and owning a horse. I just listened to what everyone told me because, you know, you listen to the older people around you, the more experienced. But when I left my old barn, I learned things that I did not know before, and that has made all of the difference in Harley's happiness and his well-being. And I'm so thankful for everyone that has helped me. There were times that I didn't know what to do, but I'm very thankful for where we are now. He really enjoyed his turnout. We are just getting into riding and just enjoying each other's company more than ever. So that's Harley and I's story, a quicker version of it, I should say. Kind of explains the surgery and where we are now. It's amazing to be here with him, just enjoying his company and everything. If there's any questions or anything, you can go to my Instagram, Harley0805. Keep up with Harley and I. It's pretty entertaining, I should say. He's a character. He's got quite the attitude nowadays, now that he's feeling good. Thanks for watching. Bye!